Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my makeup declutter video. I know you guys want to see this. This is like a really exciting video for me too because I just want to start fresh and get rid of a lot of this stuff and pass it along to some friends. So, sorry my voice is still really messed up. I am still getting over a really bad cold, but I didn't want it to hold me back any longer. I just wanted to film this for you guys. So, as you guys probably saw in my makeup collection video, this is what my top drawer looks like, except I took everything out and put it on here so that it was better lighting and that you could see it. So I'm going to go through each container, and really if I'm going through the KonMari method, I should be pulling everything out of its container, like even these acrylics, which I probably should do. I'm talking myself into doing it right now. And then pulling the things that I love most back into my collection first, and then going over the products that are a maybe. So because this drawer is my everyday makeup drawer, there's a lot of items in here that I use every single day, so I won't be getting rid of a lot of this section, but I do have a whole bunch of other drawers and things like that where I will be getting rid of a lot more. So I'm gonna get started. I really don't want to take everything out of its container because it's gonna make everything so dirty. Okay, so first of all, there are some products here that I just pulled aside because those are the products that I'm going to keep. So those products included my L'Oreal Pro Glow, my Milk Makeup Concealer, my Fenty Primer and my First Light Priming Filter, my Too Faced Hangover Primer, my Glossier Lash Slick, my Benefit They're Real Tinted Primer, my Bare Minerals Powder Foundation, my Charlotte Tilbury and my Kat Von D powders, my butter bronzer, and my Essence Pure Nude highlighter. So I pulled those items aside right away because I know I'm not going to get rid of those and I just don't want to waste my time here. So I'm going to go through these products and just sift through the ones that I definitely want, and then what I'm left with is what I'll talk to you guys about. These are the products that I have to make more of a decision on, and I'm going to start sifting through the products that I don't want and put those aside. Okay, so the products that I found easy to make a decision on were mascaras. These ones are really old, so I'm just going to toss these, and then this one just wasn't my favorite, so I'm going to get rid of these. I also got rid of these two concealers because they're very old. There's like nothing left in my Tarte Shape Tape, and then this one is just like on its last legs, so I'm going to get rit of both of these. Also, smaller tubes of mascara is easy to get rid of. I was really not a fan of this powder. It just didn't work for me. The NARS Pot Concealer, even though we had a good run, it's honestly way too old and gross right now, so I'm just gonna toss it. This NYX Brow Powder hung on for so long, but it's time. Things like this Tarte Guard, I'm never gonna use. I haven't used it like in 2 summers, so I'm just gonna pass this on. Because I never wear eyeshadow, I definitely don't need 4 eye primers, so I'm gonna pass on these two and then keep the Enigma, which is a tinted one, and then the cheaper version of the Wet n Wild as well. Now that I have all of the items that I want to keep and then the ones I want to declutter separately, I am going to put everything back, but first I have to clean out these containers because after you declutter, everything's going to be kind of messy, so you have to clean what you're going to put it back into before you just create more of a mess. As you can see, there's tons of powder and hair and gross stuff in here, so I'm going to clean these and then I'm going to put all the products back in. Okay, so now I have everything back in its spot and everything has a place. I'm really happy with the way that this turned out and all the things that I got rid of, because it just looks so much more clean and I can see everything now, and I want to use everything that's in here, which is the most important part, because if I have things that are just sitting here and I never use, it doesn't really make sense to keep them. So I'm really happy with the way that my everyday makeup drawer turned out after the declutter. And then now I'm going to quickly move on to the other parts of my makeup. I'm not going to go in depth with all of the different products just because I don't use them as often, so it's going to be easier for me to just kind of toss them out and go through them quicker. So the next part that I'm going to tackle in my declutter are my palettes. Now these are all of the palettes that I have laid out here. I'm not an eyeshadow person, so I don't have a lot, but I also have a lot for a person that doesn't like eyeshadow. So I'm going to go through all of these palettes and just make sure that I'm using them a lot, or that I have intention of using them still. So this palette right here are all of my depotted shadows. These are my ColourPop, and some of them I believe are MAC, but these are the shadows that I really love but don't make it into my everyday palette. I recently decluttered all of my single eyeshadows, so these ones I obviously really like. The Cheek Parade palette is such an incredible palette. It has 2 bronzers and 3 blushes in it, and I really want to start using this more. But the problem that I'm having is that the packaging is so bulky that I find it very difficult to put in my everyday makeup drawer, and so I just don't use it as often, but I definitely want to try using this a lot more. The Anastasia Prism palette is not one of my favorite palettes. I really was hoping to like this a lot more. I did use it for, like, honestly 1 tutorial, and so I'm kind of disappointed, but maybe I should pass this on. I'm kind of over it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna pass this on. The Violet Voss Holy Grail palette was one of my first bigger palettes, and I really love the tones in here. It's really beautiful for doing like a cranberry smoky eye, or even just a dark brown smoky eye. I really love all of the colors in here, especially this one in the middle. I think I'm gonna hold on to this just because it also has sentimental value to me. This was one of the palettes that I picked up at IMATS the first year I went, and it was just such a fun experience, and I just don't think I can give this away yet. These Super Shock shadows are from ColourPop, and this is the Dusk Till Dawn collection, which was part of their holiday collection a few years back. I love the shadows in here. The packaging is gorgeous. This one actually came broken, which is kind of a bummer. I'm just not ready to part with these. These ones in particular are my favorite, and I think that I could definitely use these a lot more. I love the whole package that it comes with, and I know this is not why I'm doing this, but I'm gonna keep this anyway. Okay, so the Chocolate Bar palette is probably one of my oldest palettes that I own. I really loved it at one point, and I just never really reached for it anymore. Like, as you can see, I haven't even touched these shades, which is kind of a bummer, even this one too. So I might just pass this on. I don't really find a need for it anymore, and yeah, I tend to go for my single shadows instead. I'm really surprising myself with this declutter. You know when you declutter and then you relapse afterwards and then you pull everything back into your collection? Yeah, I hope that's not me. So this palette is kind of a mix match of blushes that have been depotted. These are some from Tarte. This is a MAC Mineralized blush. This is another MAC, I don't know what it's called. What is it called? Oh, this is Rosy Outlook. And this is one from the Tarte and Rouge palette. I kind of butchered that one. So I'm not too sure what I'm gonna do with these. I like the palette idea because it's really easy to keep shadows in here or whatever it is, but I don't use any of these blushes anymore, so maybe I'll find a way to give these away. The next palette is the ColourPop All I See Is Magic palette. This was another one of their holiday editions, and I just was really disappointed in this. I didn't find a lot of the shades very wearable, and I wasn't able to come up with a lot of things, so I think I'm actually going to pass this on. The ColourPop Yes Please palette was definitely one of my favorites. I didn't really love the pigmentation on this shade. I can't believe I remember that. That's actually kind of crazy. But this shade I remember was really beautiful. I'm surprising myself, but I'm not ready to get rid of this just yet. So I'm going to keep this in my collection a little bit longer and see how it goes. And the last and my least favorite palette happens to be the Kylie Burgundy palette. I never really used this. I didn't love it at all. I found that this transition shade, I really needed like a lighter color that wasn't shimmery to kind of put all over my lid, and this one just was too dark for that. And I just never honestly used this. Yeah, it's kind of disappointing because I spent a lot of money trying to get it shipped here and it just didn't work out for me. So I'm going to pass this along to someone that's really gonna enjoy it. Peace out, Kylie. Wow, okay, so I got rid of 5 palettes, which is really surprising to me. I wasn't expecting to get rid of this. The one that I really wanted to get rid of was just the burgundy palette. But now that I think about it and I go through these palettes, I don't love them as much as I used to, or they were just a letdown for me. So I'm gonna give these guys a new home. Okay, so these items are kind of like smaller eyeshadow palettes, face palettes, bigger face powders, like random things like that. So I'm gonna go through these and figure out if I'm gonna get rid of them or not, kind of divide them into 2 piles, and then we will regroup when I have some decisions to make. Okay, so I'm left with my 3 Becca highlighters. Now I have this one. This is the full size in Moonstone. And then this is a smaller size in Champagne Flashes Bellini. And then this is an even smaller size of the Opal. So out of these 3 highlighters, I tend to use this one the least because it isn't as creamy as the other 2, and it does pull really orange. So I'm not a huge fan of this one, and I'm just gonna get rid of it. This one I love because it's a beautiful color, especially when you're on vacation and you have a little bit of a tan, and it's a really great size for traveling with, so I'm gonna keep this one. And then this one I've been struggling for such a long time. This is my very first highlighter that I ever bought, and I just think I'm gonna get rid of it because it's been a really long time since I've used it, and I have a friend that's gonna love this even more than I do. Okay, so these are all the items that I'm getting rid of the random powder section. I just don't tend to use them at all. And then this one is actually like a random palette that I ended up buying because it was $1 and I needed like $1 for free shipping. Something random like that, so I'm just gonna pass this along. Random, right? I don't tend to reach for these a lot, so I'm just going to pass them on to friends. And so now all of my random powders fit into one little container, which is so amazing. I'm so happy that I'm getting rid of so much. Okay, so now moving on to my cream and stick products that I don't use all the time. Actually, more recently I've been using these Milk Makeup lip and cheek sticks a lot, so I'm gonna keep these. I don't tend to use this color, however. This is the color Rally, and it's just too purple for me, so I'm gonna pass this along. I've only ever used this NYX foundation once and I didn't love it, so I'm gonna pass it to someone else. This Born This Way foundation is just not my shade, and I ended up using a promo to buy it, so I actually can't return it, which sucks, and it's been like a year, so that ship has definitely sailed to return it, so I'm just gonna pass it on to someone else. I really love this Fit Me foundation stick. I think it's great for traveling. This is a really great shimmery primer from Tarte, but I never use this and I already have my favorite primers, so I'm gonna toss this. Sorry, when I mean toss, I actually mean like pass it along and donate it, not actually toss it. So if I say toss in this video, just know I'm gonna donate it. I haven't used the Milk Makeup Luminous Blur Stick in a while, but I'm gonna try and use it in my routine a little bit more and see how it goes. I keep this for filling up my other container with the doe foot applicator when that product finishes up. This is the Becca Liquid Highlighter in Moonstone. This is my favorite highlighter by Benefit. This is called What's Up, and it's a really flattering cream highlight. I don't know why I decided to buy this. This is the Halo Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops, but I have an attachment to it and I don't want to get rid of it, and I don't know why. Maybe I'm gonna save it for those clubbing days that I may never have, but I'm still gonna keep it regardless. I don't really know why I'm gonna keep it, but it just has a little special spot in my heart. So this is the section with all of my stick and cream products, and then I'm gonna move on to the next section. Oh Lord, these are all of my lip products, and I'm definitely gonna have to take a few minutes to go through each one of them. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to swatch each one of them and get rid of a bunch. god, you guys, it's been hours since the last time I checked in with you guys. I decluttered all of my lip products, which it's been years since I've actually tackled it because it was just so many products that every time I did a declutter, I just avoided that part. I just never wanted to do it. But I finally went through every single product and picked out which ones that I wanted to keep. So I found out a new way of organizing them. I wanted to put them in these containers instead of in the drawers because I found in the drawers they were never being used, and also in this they were always falling over and it just wasn't practical for me to be using them like this. So I'm gonna keep this just in case I change my mind, but this is what I have out of all of my lip products. So what I have in here is I have all of my lip balms in this container, all of my lipsticks in this container, my lippy sticks and my lip crayons in this one. And then in this larger container, I have my lip liners on top, and it goes from glosses, and then here it goes liquid lipsticks with a few extra liquid lipsticks up there as well. So you can see everything here. That was the most important part for me, is that I wanted to be able to see all of the colors that I have and make them really accessible in my drawers. So this is the last part of my declutter for my makeup collection. I got rid of so many products. I'll quickly show you guys how many products I got rid of, but I'm so happy with the organization of this drawer and how it's going to look after it's all done. So these are all of the products that I'm going to get rid of out of my lip products. I have some of these products that I haven't touched in years and other ones that are just super old and gross, so I'm going to be getting rid of those. I have a few like eyeliners and random things like that. This is a brand new mascara that I'm going to give away to a friend. Just a whole bunch of stuff that I don't use, and so I'm going to be giving all of this stuff away and throwing out the stuff that's like no longer good. I'm going to keep in mind the expiration date, which I always tell you guys to keep in mind when you're throwing things out, is make sure you check the expiration date before you put it back in your collection. So that is everything. This guy's running away. So that is everything for this makeup declutter video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you liked it, and if you guys are decluttering, let me know what your hardest section in your makeup collection was to declutter. Mine was definitely the lip section. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys!